Well, this wasn't totally expected. Basically, let me tell you what's happening. I think I got out ahead of John quite a ways by accident, actually. I waited a long time and figured he was right behind me and started hiking and got way up this beautiful canyon. It really was quite spectacular. The downside is that I'm hoping I'm not lost. I'm hoping John is okay. He's got all the equipment and the rescue stuff if he has any emergent issues. I, on the other hand, have nothing. So here is my camp. I found a little spot here in the middle of nowhere, but it's relatively flat, and there's water very nearby. Hopefully that'll relax me tonight enough that I can go to sleep, because I know it's going to be cold and I'm pretty sure it'll be relatively windy. Oh man. So yeah, if I'm just out ahead of him, he'll catch me in the morning and it'll be a non-issue. If it's more than that, then I guess there'll be more videos about this. Bye. All right, a brief update. It's been about 30-45 minutes. I'm tucked in here behind the tent out of the wind, which is actually like 75% better, to be honest with you. We got our dinner going. We're gonna have some chicken and rice. Got the water. Everything's set up in there. Have beautiful scenery. The sun is not quite set, but it's not doing me a damn bit of good. And I doubt it's going to do me a damn bit of good in the morning either. It's a pretty steep canyon, and it's got nothing to do with Steve Martin and the Rangers. Well, I'm still hoping John's okay, but he's a pretty competent dude, and he's got all the equipment in the world. I did finish the last little bit of my Glenlivet. But man, it's a little unnerving out here. 6 days, haven't seen but one person. No planes, no noise, no nothing, and now I'm alone. I could be lost. I don't know. I needed a drink. It was only about a dram, maybe a dram and a half, but it was pretty good. And you can see my jet boil starting to rock and roll, baby. So it's time for me to get all up into this chicken and rice in about 9 minutes after it rehydrates. Well, look at the steam. Well, looks like things are going okay. All right, well, I guess we're soloing tonight, and we'll figure out tomorrow. Pretty interesting experience. I mean, I've not seen other people anyhow, and now there's not even young John Dodd. It's just me and that very rare jet flying over, and the sound of the water will come right back when the plane is gone. Nighty-night. Oh, well, that's not all. It's still quite bright, so I think I'm going to play a few hands of solitaire, then say goodnight. Well, hello. I'm about worn out of playing solitaire, and kind of gelling out and listening to some Jason Isbell that I just so happen to have downloaded onto my phone. So I've got the giant waterfall that's like 40 feet from me to my left. I can hear that. And I can hear the babbling brook that's about 12 feet from my feet. And every so often a stiff gust of wind comes and works this side of the tent. But otherwise, everything's pretty sound. Warm enough, and I sure hope John's warm enough and finding some way to enjoy himself as I have this evening in this odd set of circumstances. Night. Well, I'm closing my eyes because this light's so bright. It has turned out to be a very interesting evening, about just shy of 1 o'clock, and I've had to get up a couple of times and check the guy line to the tent. The interesting thing is, it'll actually lay down on top of me when the wind blows hard. You can hear something falling out there now. I think it's probably ice. I don't know. It's not been a very restful evening, that's for sure. And yeah, so what you're seeing is what I've been dealing with for about 2 hours now. And I'm hoping it'll blow over, let up, do something. But I think it's all battened down pretty well. It's just a matter of getting through the night and hoping that the morning is a little, it's still easy to travel. All right, well, I'll keep everybody posted. Boy, what a fun night this has been. Boy, oh boy. Let's see what's been going on here. See all the snow piled up around the tent. I have been able to sleep on and off, so that's not the worst of it. It's been interesting when the entire tent collapses in on me, when the wind blows so hard and I can feel the metal poles, but then it pops right back and everything's okay. It's about, I think it's like 4:15 or so now, so it's getting close to morning. And like I said, I've been able to sleep on and off, so I'm gonna try to lay my head back down and get a little more sleep and figure out what the heck we're gonna do in the morning. This is supposed to be a hiking trip, not a mountaineering expedition. At least not solo. Well, it's 7 a.m. It stopped snowing. The wind stopped blowing around 5 or so. Secondary issue was that the wind was terrible, but it kept the snow off the tent. And when the wind stopped and it kept snowing for 2 more hours, maybe longer, I had to stay awake most of the time to reach up and whack the snow off the tent so it didn't collapse in on me. But I have not yet looked outside to see what I have to contend with today as a solo, possibly lost backpacker. So let's see what's up. I mean, this will show you something. That's my vestibule. That's my chair. And my chair is full of snow. And where snow came from, I have no idea. Well, I actually do have an idea. It was something I was trying to do early on. Oh well, let's see how much snow's out there. Woo! I know it doesn't look like much, but when you can't see the trail and all those terrible rocks, it's going to be a treacherous afternoon. All right, let's get my boots on and go take care of business. So here's the outside view. I had my pack stored down there. Luckily, I put some trash bags over it last night just on general principles. So here's this. Let's take a step back. All those guidelines I worked so hard on, every single one of them blew off at some point. But there was one hellacious gust that laid the tent flat down on top of me. I don't know how it didn't collapse. You can see that's moving water over there, and it had no ice on it when I got here yesterday. And you can see the ice starting to form, even though it's fairly rapidly moving water. That's just my way of saying, damn, it is cold. So I'm gonna hunker down, make myself some breakfast, and my plan is to sit tight for a few hours and see if John shows up, because I think I'm a few miles ahead of him. After about 2 hours, maybe 3, I'm going to start walking back from where I came from and try to find him without my gear. After maybe a mile and a half or so, I'm going to come back here if I haven't found him. I'm going to load my stuff up, and I'm going to head out of here in the direction where the trail will fork. And we had agreed not to go past that fork until we were together, so I would just maybe even pitch my tent there at the intersection and just wait. Hope it all works out. All right, time for an update. I think I'm slowly developing my own emergency panic system. And so I think it's going to go like this. So I have 3 stages of fear and panic. And within each stage, I will have yellow, orange, red. So you can be at red at number 1. It's not very comfortable, but there's
full panic has not yet set in. So I would say I'm a solid orange, maybe red at stage 1. Not all this is just me making up shit. But I've ventured off a good ways north, which is the travel direction. Really struggled with the trail stuff. This snow is just, I mean, it's like a friggin' nightmare, man. It's just deep enough. I don't know what it was last night. 6-8 inches, somewhere in that ballpark, maybe a shy less. But my God, man, it is just tall enough to just wipe out the trail. And thanks to the John Muir Trail and I guess the Sierra Club, there's absolutely no markings, which it hit me a few days ago, and it just irritates the crap out of me. You like the Appalachian Trail, you can't blink and you just find a 4-inch by 2-inch or 2-inch by 6-inch white blaze, and whenever you're supposed to turn, they have switchback blazes, which is 2 blazes. So you could be in complete whiteout conditions and look at the tree and see it. There is absolutely no markers on this trail. It's just very, very challenging. I'm a little concerned. Like I said, I'm probably an orange, red, stage 1. Then I went south. I went back the direction I came from. I had about a 90% comfort rating on having found the trail. The sketchy part is where the trail is. It's very, very challenging with the snow, but I was quite certain I was on it. I tried to eyeball it before I turned around. It didn't look as clear as it did the way I'd come. So here's my plan. Cut to the chase. I'm going to probably journey. I'm going to eat something here. I'm going to probably set my tent back up solid this time so the wind and snow doesn't knock it down. And I'm going to wait for John. And tomorrow I will, if it doesn't snow again, I will probably late in the afternoon head north in the direction I'm supposed to be traveling and try to find just a place to hunker down and stay. If it does snow or if something unforeseen happens, I reckon I'll just load up my stuff. I remember reading or learning somewhere that when you're in these situations, there's an axiom that don't do something, just stand there. And so my plan is to stand here. God, I hope we don't have to get rescued or worse. All right, a brief update. I have walked all day, back and forth, many different directions, and I am right back where I started, which was next to the creek where all the snow came down last night, and I'm in the process of setting my tent back up in a similar spot, but I think I learned a lesson last night about which way the wind blows in this canyon. So I'm going to tweak it a little bit, but yet another day alone, another night alone, and I call it a mild sign of entry-level desperation. I got a fire going here, and that fire is strictly, every once in a while I'll throw some pine on it, and it smokes like a son of a gun. And since you can't have fires in California, and since everybody's got their panties in a bunch about that, I am hoping that somebody will come out and write me a ticket. Ha! I would gladly take the ticket. I would gladly pay the ticket, and they can get me the hell out of here. I'm being very safe. You can see I got water, literally standing water all around. There's a waterfall over there. There's water over there. Snow on the ground. I'm standing 3 feet from the fire. Let's hope it doesn't get any worse than this. So yeah, we're at a orange stage 2. Got about 3 days worth of food. No communication, no maps. And tomorrow I'm going to kind of burn the bridge south of me and head north. And we'll see what happens. God, I hope I hit a road or another hiker or something. Okay, here's an update just to keep people tuned in, if that's anything. It's 3 o'clock. I went to sleep about 7:30-ish, maybe 8. Slept about 4.5 hours. I can't think of anything except for just to go back and take a stab at trying to catch John. So I'm going to pack up. It's 3:30 now or something. I'm going to pack up and just start hiking with my headlamp. And hopefully around sunrise, I'll be back where I departed, which is that fork in the trail. And I'm really, it sounds ridiculous, but what I'm hoping for, I'm so excited about seeing footprints in the snow at some point that aren't my own. So I'm trying to catch John. We'll see what happens. Oh boy, it's cold. It was a cold morning. All right, here's a little bit of an update. Nothing any more encouraging or happier. But took charge and got up at 3 o'clock this morning, broke camp, and by 4 o'clock I was on the dark, desolate trail. I backtracked the 6 miles to where I had taken a left, and I believe John went right. And my thought was that he hiked in when it wasn't snow. I don't know how far he may have gone, but when he left camp the next morning, he would have left footprints in the snow. So that's what I'm looking for, is footprints in the snow. If I find them, it's going to be very encouraging. If not, then I don't know what I'm going to do. 48 hours, a god-awful snowstorm, complete isolation, and some pretty dark thoughts and feelings along the way. I executed my plan this morning. Got up at 3 a.m., was on the trail at 4. First thing I saw, it was glistening in my headlamp because it was pitch dark black. The moon was setting as I was getting up, so it was completely dark. And I saw glistening, and at eye level were 2 giant bear claws tearing down through the bark into the wood. And what was glistening was the fresh sap. And all I could think of is, man, that's not that old. Anyhow, up and down, and I think it's going to be okay. I did find John's camp. I think he probably left yesterday. I'm probably a day behind him, but I am behind him, and I have the car keys. Ha! Man, I can't believe where I am tonight. Oh, like 48 hours ago. Things were very, very different. Good times.